Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at TheTechTrader.com. It is Thursday night, December the 10th, and these are the charts of the day. Well, sloppy day on Wall Street. They did manage gains, but I was not impressed. Although, and particularly with the sell-off in the last 90 minutes, that put a real dent in today's activity. But there's a lot of stocks that are looking better. Some breaking out, some new ones, some old ones. Let's take a look at the list. Starting off with Alcoa, which at one time was a nice swing trade for us. If you remember from here, when it ran up from like 12 or 11 to 17 range. But since then, since about a year ago, it's dropped from 17 all the way back down to under 8, double bottom there. Look at the left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. With the spike up today, 43 cents, or almost 5% on 36.5 million. It appears it may be bottoming. Now, what I want you guys to watch is a move across 960. If it gets through 960 and then 990, then you may be on your way to get the stock back up to spike levels from October near 11. And ultimately, a longer-term view, or more of an intermediate term view, gets me to 13 and then 14.5 or better. But let's keep an eye on this pattern here, as it does appear to be a bottoming type inverse head and shoulders. We'll see. There's 3.5 days to cover. That could help the stock get pushed a little bit. Achillion. Well, we put a swing on Achillion as it broke out. It's pulled back. Looked a little nervous down here where it came down and retested the breakout point right there, but it held. And in the last couple sessions stabilized right in the zone there. Okay, and then today it popped 44 cents or 4.5%. Volume was 2.6 million, picking up. But look at the on-balance volume, very steadily increasing as the stock consolidates. Looks like a stock that wants to go higher. I'm looking for 11 and 13 on this stock. Maybe we get to 14 though. It does have a lot of promise. I love when a stock comes down out of a channel, breaks out, the moving averages cross over, and the stock pulls back to consolidate as the moving averages come up. This is a perfect setup in my mind for a long-term move. And by the way, 9.2 days to cover. Camp, well, made an acquisition, a accretive acquisition today, it appears. This has been in a long base for about a year and a half, and it appears like it's coming up to test key levels at the 21-22 zone. If it gets through that, my target is 26 on an intermediate move. But today was, I think, significant pop and run and closed near the highs for the day with 11 days to cover, up almost 11%. This one has a lot of promise in my mind. Keep an eye on the resistance, though, around 22.5. How about that DGAZ? This stock gone nonstop from this breakout of the flag around 13. Today's high of 21.42, and it closed within 2 cents of the high. Looks like it could make it to mid-20s now. Keep an eye on this one. Strong momentum, but you don't want it to reverse and take out minor support, which right now appears to be right about the 18 level, so that'll be my stopping point. EROS, well, a stock that got completely trashed after a big run-up last year. From the October highs around mid-30s, it's dropped all the way down to under 7, but it's stabilized. And right what I'm seeing now is a coiling type base, and today it popped, moving up 93 cents or 10%. Volume increase to the best in about 2 weeks. It looks to me like it may make a run at testing the 11 range. If it gets through that, you could see the stock at 12 and then 14. Keep an eye on this, as it's got an interesting pattern with a declining channel that was broken and then a wedging or coiling base with a breakout today. EYES, I've never trusted this stock and I never liked that pattern, and finally it got hammered in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave decline. What I really like is in the last week we had a spike up and a pullback, and today another spike up, and it held pretty much near 6. Up 52 cents or almost 10%. With 8 days to cover, watch carefully this level, because the 640 range is resistance. It did close right on the 50 and right on the declining tops line, and he moved through here. You can see 7 3/4, 8, 8.5 area, and ultimately something around 10, 10.5. But we need to get that breakout, so watch it for follow through. F5VN is looking really good in here. Here's your long-term chart. A falling wedge with a pop breakout, a retest of the lows, and then a breakaway gap with a wedge and a run-up. Today up another 3.65%. It looks to me like it's headed for 8 and then 9.25. Those are my targets. INVT. Well, this one's exploded from literally from 70 cents to 288, or 300% just in the last few days. Now, I'm very, very keen on the big volume that traded today, especially. So what I'm looking for is some follow through, and my target is 4.5. Leave it at that. Some resistance at 350. What about there? which I think could be tested as early as tomorrow. Keep an eye on that level, and ultimately 4.5, and then I'd be inclined to take some profits. Too far, too fast. ITCI jumped 315 or 6%, but it's still in the confines of this flag. However, the overall structure of this pattern looks quite good. If we get to the 60 range, I'm looking for 64, 70, and then 78. Those are my targets going forward. LFCC continuing to push higher in a nice rising channel with good volume and good technicals. 3.6 days to cover. Today it popped 6%. I'm looking for 7.5 short term. MNGA with a clean breakout today from the long-term base, and the double top from 2014 where the spikes were up around 235 maybe reaches early tomorrow. We get through that, we can see 3, even 4. I'm not inclined to be high on this stock because of the price, but I like the pattern, the channel, and again, look for a pop for a quick move up towards 293. In VRO, after the breakout of this beautiful little wedge or coil, it broke out again today. I think we're headed to 70, 72. 6.5 days to cover. Very nice pattern and strong momentum. OBV making new highs. NYMX moved right up to key resistance today, jumping 9.3%. There's almost 5 days to cover on this. It appears like it wants to go. We're going to need more volume. You can see how it was the biggest volume in about 6 weeks today, because it got up to resistance. Once it gets to 440, 435.40, I think we're looking at a stock that could very easily be near 6 and then near 8.5. So very high on this one. It's a new swing. PLAB has incredible momentum. After the base was broken, it exploded and went up to the resistance zone. With a reversal today from 1232 to 1294, it is at resistance. Let's take a look at a long-term chart and even a longer-term chart. The reason why I have resistance on that is from this zone up here. You get to that, PLAB could run all the way to 15, 16 zone. So that would be an incredible move, but the strong momentum and 12.4 days to cover tells me this may have more to go yet. Easy stop right below there. And last week, the stock has held almost every day around 1230, 35. Stop it beneath that. SCO. Well, like I said, this stock looked to me like an inverse head and shoulders, a breakout and a beautiful platform. And since I mentioned that, it's run from 92.70 to 128, and it may be testing this 139.40 zone very quickly. That's mid-channel and the prior high. That's my target. SSNI, the swing trade followed through today after breaking out yesterday. I'm looking for 18, 18 and a quarter, eventually 21, 22 zone. Nice pattern. Multiple tops taken out with volume and strong OBV, as well as 5.7 days to cover. Sounds like a no-brainer. Smith & Wesson is exploding in here, up 6 days in a row, so maybe overextended. To get any kind of pullback consolidation, I'm still looking for a run to 26, and we may get that before we even pull back. That's how strong it is. 9 days to cover as well. Today the volume was 7.3 million, with almost a record all-time volume. And finally, U.S. Steel, after a lengthy decline, taking it from just a year, well, since May when it was trading in the mid-20s, dropping all the way down under 7. The low 2 days ago, 680. That's an all-time low ever traded in U.S. Steel. It's reversed to get up to from 680 to over 9 today, closing at 883, up 12% on almost 20 million shares. There's resistance right in this zone. The short-term targets are 10 and 11, but I want to see if it gets to resistance right here at about the 930, 35 zone. And that's it for tonight, everybody. Have a good evening. I'll talk to you in the trading room tomorrow morning.